Gentlemen, it's your favorite commissioner coming at you finally again for a recap of the League 14. I'll just apologize in advance for really lacking on these this year. Last several weeks have been busy with work and the holidays, and you know how it is. A million things going on, and not that this is low priority, but there's been many nights where I realize that it's Wednesday night at 10:30 and I didn't do a recap this week. So my apologies on that. Hopefully these get better next year, but I thought it would still be important to do one to wrap up the season, just to see how the League 14 unfolded, which we're all pretty much aware how it unfolded. I'm sure most of you watching this are not thrilled with the way it happened, but we're here to review it in case you weren't paying attention. So, I should also say your favorite reigning league champion is joining you tonight. I got the victory. It is my first league championship in, well, this would have been, I think, 10 or 11 years. So I won in the League 3, and now I won a second time. So I don't know how many of us have won the league twice. I guess I could look that up super quickly, but I joined that exclusive group of people who have won it more than once. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. So four including myself, have won it twice. So congratulations to Ben, myself, Matt, and Nick on being multi-time league champions. Matchups, I mean, we can go into the matchups, I guess. And you know what? Actually, I'm not going to do the matchups because we got some housekeeping stuff to do. I'll just review them quickly. I beat Corey 178 to 95. But what was it? That a difference of 83 points. 178 was my highest score of the year, so good week for that. Didn't really matter since Corey put up a 95. It was also my 4th largest margin of victory ever in the 14 years I've been in the league. So really picked a good week to go all out. I believe, what did I finish with? I finished with the most points scored this year. I started all this. I started updating the league spreadsheet. So if you want to go there and look at a recap of the stats that we keep track of for every year and overall, you can see that there. I put up 2,200 points this year. Second place was Barty with 2,100. So I outscored everybody by at least 100 points, which is pretty good. I had a pretty solid team, I'm not going to lie. I even had two of my best wide receivers on IR, and I still managed to put up a 178 and a 159 last week. So Corey, you got second place, which is nothing to be upset about. I think Corey got second place last year, and the year before that, Corey, you also got second place. So Corey, you were on. Hold on. Oh, and the year before that, you got ninth. So in the last 3 years, Corey, you have finished second all 3 years. That's actually pretty crazy. I mean, you're making money, which is, I mean, according to Nate Novak, what we're all here to do anyways. But no, that's awesome. Good for you. Well, good for you in the most positive way of losing 3 consecutive championship matchups. But you know what I'm trying to get at. Third place matchup, we had Mitch and Mike. And Mitch got the victory by 10 points. 135 to 125. Mike and Mitch both had very solid years, if I'm being quite honest. Those were the two teams I was worried about facing this year. I knew I had a good team, and I knew those two had a really good team. So I was happy to not have to face them in the championship. It ultimately wouldn't have mattered, but not saying Corey didn't have a good team, but I would say Corey had the worst of the 4 of us in playoffs. But anyways, point is, 2 very good teams. Unfortunately, one of you had to take 4th. That was Barty. So, Barty, you didn't win any money this year. Mitch, you won a little bit of money. So, congratulations for that. Also should mention that we do the league regular season champion, which was Mitch. So, Mitch, you won $50 for that. And then we also pay out the highest point, guy with the most points in the regular season, and that was myself. So I won $50 for that. First place, myself, I win $516 on top of my $50 for first place. Corey, you get $258, and Mitch, you get $86 plus your $50. Our Empire kitty is now up to $320. So if I were to win the championship again next year, I would win an additional $320. So there's that. So I'm guessing everyone will be vying to beat me. Oh shoot, I didn't update that. My bad. Well, whatever. I can just quickly go through how people did money-wise. So including weekly low scores, transactions, here's what everybody cleared. This includes your entry fee and everything. So Matt, you finished 7th place. You went on a tear the last 2 weeks in the toilet bowl. Well, sorry, let's finish up the matchups first. Sorry, I'm all over the place. There is one thing that we should talk about, and we all know what that is. 7th place matchup was between Nick and Matt. Matt finished the season 10th place, but regular season 10th place, but finished the season in 7th place. Ben and Perk played for the plate. Brandon, you can officially take that license plate cover off your car and give it to Perk. Brand new baby daddy gets a brand new license plate cover. 93.78 to 88.58. Ben had his lowest score of the year, and Perk still couldn't beat him. I think that is a great summary of Perk's season this year. For something I just noticed, and I'll just throw this a little more salt in the wound. Perk, you had 160.58 points in playoffs over last week and this week. I outscored you this week alone in that. So Perk, you have the plate cover. Brandon, make sure you get that to Perk. And Perk, you are also on the hook for buying us pizzas for the draft next year. Brandon, I expect that jacket updated, embroidered, and on my shoulders very soon. Matt Novak, this year, including entry fees and transactions, weekly low scores, you lost $134. Mitch, you won $13. Nick, you lost $117. Barty lost $131. Tim lost $133. Ben lost $123. I cleared $435. Brandon lost $130. Corey won $131. And Perk lost $142. So that's what everybody lost. I think what I'm going to try to do this year, it worked better last year for me to do this. I'm going to try to collect everyone's transactions and weekly low scores now. I've always waited until the draft, but that's gotten kind of clunky with payouts. I'm kind of having to, it just is easier to keep track of, a little easier to keep track of if I just do it all now. So if you're seeing this, I will at some point be sending you a text or a Venmo request for, you've already all paid your entry fee. So like, for example, Matt, yeah, you lost $134, but you only owe me another $34 because you already paid your entry fee. Yeah. So there's that. I'm trying to think of many housekeeping things that I need to talk about before we wrap up the season here. Like I said, I am updating the league spreadsheet with all of our stats and information. We also have the, what's the other spreadsheet that I've been keeping track of? I don't think anybody looks at it, but I still keep track of it. You're all invited to it. It's called the League All-Time Records. And I just keep track of everyone's records against everybody. So, for example, if I look at year 14, Mitch, you went 3-0 against Barty this year. So you kind of had his number. And that's the kind of information you can see in here. Your scores for every year and your matchups and everything like that. So anyways, if you want to look into that, I'm still updating that. So it's probably not 100% accurate yet, but it will be very soon. So keep an eye out for those Venmo text alerts for money. Thank you all seriously so much. I really enjoy doing this league every year. We got a good group of guys here and everybody makes it a lot of fun, very competitive, which is awesome. Even the guys in the toilet bowl were still putting up, a lot of you guys were still putting up very solid scores. So it's fun to be in the league when everybody is competitive and has good teams, and just got to work on that trading a little bit. But me and Mitch are already leading the way on that. Weirdly enough, me and Mitch were the only ones that made trades, and we finished in the top. Both of us finished in the top 3 this year. Coincidence? I think not. So again, my apologies for not doing more of these. I know a lot of you don't watch them anyways, but still, I think they're important. We should be doing them more often. Me and Matt will get better about that. Thank you guys very much for another awesome year. Start thinking of who wants to host a draft next year, and what your availability is the end of September, beginning of September next year. We'll start figuring out all that sooner than we realize. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you guys have a great New Year's, and we will see you all before the draft, but for sure see you at the draft for the League 15. Peace.